I don't even know what I'm doing on the course, so I feel like this course is too hard for me. So
Don't Rory Siwoo, you weren't the only one who struggled today. Carnage in the first round of the U.S. Open. What are we going to do with our picks? Because this first page of the leaderboard could look like a jumbled mess, but that's what the Golfbet team is here to figure out. Will Gray and Casey Johnston are both on site there at Oakmont. Will, you say we started slow, but I think there's a lot of fun things to talk about throughout the entire leaderboard.
Oh, we can start slow and still have things to talk about. I think we have a light level of carnage. This is like an appetizer course of carnage. I think everyone expects it to get a little bit more difficult from here, at least for tomorrow. I know there's some weather in the forecast for the weekend that could soften things up, but it's getting a little spicy, as Adam Scott said. And even though these names have gotten off to a strong start, I think Oakmont's going to bite back.
Yeah, I think people are looking for a little more carnage on day one, myself included. Maybe that's why I felt a little slow, but agree with Will. I think we're going to see that carnage come into play, and I think some of these names you see on the top of that leaderboard right now won't be there for long.
I think the reason why it's fun to talk about right now is because Scotty Scheffler's nowhere near the lead. I mean, if we saw him at even par or maybe even one over, and he's sitting there, you're like, okay, he'll make a move tomorrow and he'll be on this first page, no problem. But Scotty's +3. He's got a ways to go, Will, if we're talking about being back in this tournament. And you want to compare him to Rory McIlroy. These are your two stars who are one-shot difference, and look how crazy different their odds are to win for top fives. Scotty's still minus money for a top 10. If you were going to tell people about betting on Scotty and or Rory with 3 days left, looking at these numbers, Will, what would you tell the people?
Oh, I mean, I think there's only one door I would want to walk in, and that's the Scheffler one. I don't love where Scotty is. Coming off of where he was this afternoon, 85th in strokes gained putting, was no better than 43rd in any of the categories, the 4 strokes gained categories. So he didn't do anything really great. But Rory's a mess right now. I don't know what's going on. He seemed like he had it going. Was bogey free through 9 holes. Made an incredible, miraculous bogey save on the 4th hole. He thought, okay, this is it. He's going to hold it together. He's going to be in red figures. And then it just absolutely got away from him over the last 6 holes of that round. Now he is in danger of missing back-to-back cuts on the PGA Tour for the first time since 2012.
Wow.
Knowing that he missed the cut last week in Canada. I mean, Casey, this is a tournament where he's been the runner-up each of the last 2 years. He has not finished outside the top 10 since 2019. And I don't see how Rory comes back from the way he ended the round today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. There's a door I'm walking through. It's the Scotty door, but I don't really want to walk through that door either.
I mean,
but
look at the
Rory's
numbers,
side,
pathetic.
Right. I mean, he's 7 shots back, second shortest odds. Like, what's the fun in getting involved there, you know? But on the Rory side, I mean, I saw those numbers coming in, like you said, Will. He's got 6 straight top 10s here, a 7th in a row this year, would tie Ben Hogan's record. But I don't think we can look at his past U.S. Open success because, as Rory's kind of stated, that past U.S. Open success was all pre his Masters win.
Yes.
Rory seemed like a different guy after that Masters win. He admitted himself in his presser. It's a little harder to find that motivation on a day-to-day grind. We just saw what happened in Canada. I don't see him locking in to get out of this hole and trying to find a way to win here. So I agree. I'm a little concerned with Rory's mentality right now. So yeah, that's not a door I'm quite walking through. But then on the Scotty side, like I said, 7 shots back, second shortest odds. I mean, for me, you keep both of these doors closed for now, and we can see what happens.
I will say, Chris, real quick, I was among a small group of reporters that spoke to Scotty after the round over by scoring area, and he seemed fine, right? You think at 3 over 73, he might be upset, he might be frustrated about the conditions. It was run-of-the-mill Scotty Scheffler post-round press conferences. He talked about the importance going into tomorrow of finding the fairway at Oakmont. There's no water, but you absolutely have to be in the fairway in order to reach these greens. I think he's looking forward to that quick turnaround, having been in the late wave today, going out early tomorrow, whereas Rory is on the other side, has to wait all day and then go out in what could be a little bit of crispier conditions for the afternoon, and that's why I think I'd lean Scotty here.
Last comment on Rory here. We haven't seen a U.S. Open where driving the ball straight has been as important as it is this week, and Rory just doesn't have that right now. I mean, this wasn't like the Pinehurst last year with Bryson when they were both hitting it as far as they could and figuring it out. Both of Bryson's wins were that way. This is a different golf course, and Scheffler has the type of game to get back in this. Rory does too, but the way he's hitting the driver, I don't see with this number if it's worth it, because 3,500 to win when he's +4, I just don't see it. Do you guys?
No, I mean, I think that, go ahead, Chase.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, as I was saying with all these, Rory mental issues right now, a crux of that whole stretch he's on of, struggling with that is the driver. It started with the Masters report, and then he's getting asked about it. He won't even tell what type of tailor-made driver he's using his presser. I think he's got a lot going on upstairs right now, and it's relaying to his play. It's relaying to not being able to keep the driver straight, and it's relaying to, I don't see him having a lot of success as we move forward.
We heard it from Scotty after the round. We heard it from Xander after his round when he clawed back to 2 over, just the importance of finding the fairway. Scotty said, whenever you step up on any tee here, just say, pick whatever club I need to hit or need to pull to hit the fairway. And sometimes that's driver, but sometimes it's not. And as Xander pointed out, yes, this is a course where you can launch the driver and there's all these sight lines and you can hit it a mile down the hill. But if you're out of the fairway, you're totally dead. And it doesn't really matter if you're 320, 380, or 250. If you're hitting out of the fairway, you have a chance to score here. If you're hitting out of the rough, you're holding on for dear life.
Let's talk about the leaders and who has the best value to win. And Will, when I put this together about 20 minutes ago, I told myself I knew exactly what you were going to say. You were going to say none of these guys has a chance to win, but one of them might. Who is that one?
See, listen, we have a little bit of a sunny disposition here, Chris. We're not just fading the entire room here. If Scotty Scheffler is not playing good golf, are we living in a world where Ben Griffin is the hottest player in the PGA Tour? I'm asking. I'm just saying.
That's yes. It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah. 2 wins, contended well at the Memorial, and now gets off to a very smooth 1 under 69, doing everything right. Yes, it's aggressive to think Ben Griffin, major winner or U.S. Open champion, but certainly of these guys, I think I have the most faith in him because he's the most solid from tee to green, including the putter. He is not going to be overwhelmingly great in any one area, but he is going to be very good in every area. That's what he was today. That's what he's been this season. I like him more at like a plus 400 for a top 5 finish, for him to be lurking but maybe not get it done. But of these 4, 22-1, you have my attention.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, not as fun just to piggyback off Will, but I mean, I got to agree here. As you mentioned, Ben Griffin's hot right now. 3 straight top 10s. That includes a win and a runner-up finish. He said in a presser recently, I've reached the point in my game where I like winning. So he's got that mentality now. He's got the experience of what it takes. Now, this is a major stage. This is a little different. But if we get to Sunday and the leaderboard looks like it does now, he may not see a lot of threatening names, and it might give him another little boost of confidence that he can go get another win here. So looking at these 4, I'd have to agree. If we're trying to make you a little money here, Ben's the guy.
You've also got to realize Siwoo and Sungjae both were in the Ben Griffin era a couple of years ago. They had won, they had looked really good, and you expected them to continue to win, and it's been a long time since either of those guys, Will, has been back on top and proven they can continue to sustain success. So in my mind, both those guys are out because they've proven they haven't done it in a very long time, and Griffin's our newest contender that we feel like has a chance to continue success. Fair to say?
Well, Chris, I'm the guy that on Roundtable a few days ago took Hideki Matsuyama for top Asian, so I consider both of these rounds a personal attack on my handicapping prowess. Needless to say, swing and a miss, at least through 18 holes. I would say Sungjae in particular has a really rough track record in the U.S. Open. I know he made a cut last year, but outside of that, he's missed a few cuts in a row. So I would have a little bit more faith in Siwoo hanging around than Sungjae. But needless to say, I might need to tweak my model with those guys entering next week.
They can shoot 80 tomorrow, and you'll be back in it.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, Sungjae really hasn't shown the finish.
Sorry, Casey, I'll go back.
No, all good, all good.
Yeah,
I was going to say, he hasn't really shown the ability to finish and really close out. So I'm not going to get too excited over him on day 1.
Yeah, I mean, watch Spawn just be in the lead on Sunday, and then we have something brand new to talk about. We have so many big names. So many big names are... Call it within an earshot. I mean, it's one round, we know, and Spawn's at 4 under. The names at the top don't, give a lot of confidence. But what about players who are sitting there 1 to 2 over par? Because I got 2 guys on this list, Casey, who basically were identical at the end of their round. Your boy Ludwig, who you picked to win, was 4 over in his last 6 holes, and then Sam Burns,
5.
Right?
The last 5 holes.
Okay, 5, and then Burns was about the same, right?
Yeah, just about the same, I believe. Yeah, I mean, you got to feel all right when you finish that poorly and then you walk off and go, I'm still in the mix here. And these aren't really guys I got to worry about chasing down. I could expect them to kind of come back to earth a little bit. So I still love Ludwig. I'm not out on him yet. I hated to see that finish. He had some really bad moments He missed, I think, 2 different 3-foot putts. He had a couple wedge shots that looked like he didn't know what he was doing. I think he shakes those off. I think he keeps pushing forward. I think we see a better day out of him tomorrow. I think we see a more consistent day. I think he shakes off those real tough finishes that he had today. And I still love Ludwig going forward, so I'm staying with my pick.
I want to talk about the guy in between those two on the graphic, Victor Hovland. One of these things is not like the other, Chris. 3rd in strokes gained approach, 6th in strokes gained off the tee, 147th in strokes gained putting.
Wow.
And that was with making a 35-foot birdie putt on 18.
Right.
I mean, he putted so poorly today. He had 3 holes in a row, 9, 10, and 11, where he hit his approach inside of 3 feet for birdie. And that's really the only way he was making birdies today. He had a couple bogeys, but man, Victor Hovland, if he is striping it like he did today, eventually some of the putts are going to have to drop, and maybe not all of them, but certainly enough to get him back into that top 5 mix. I think Hovland is a buy for me across a bunch of different markets at this point.
What about Schauffele? I mean, we were talking about Will if he could keep the driver in play. It didn't really happen that great today, but give him credit, he fought back hard, and the end of that round was massive for him if he's going to come back. I'm not convinced this guy's out of it, even to win. I mean, top 5 is plus 400. I think that's a good number.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had Xander pre-tournament. I didn't love the start, but I'm certainly feeling okay about where he is right now. That move from plus 4 to plus 2, as much as we talked about, Burns and Oberg going the other way, and Rory as well, that was a monster finish for Xander to get a couple birdies at the end, including on number 9. And again, talking to him in post-round press conference up by the 18th green, I mean, he was in really good spirits. And it's a classic U.S. Open round. It's something that Xander kind of does with more frequency than some of the other guys. Remember, he has never finished worse than T14 ever in this tournament, going back to 2017 when he made his first start. So, I mean, this is the type of approach that he takes to this tournament, whether it's at Pinehurst or Oakmont or Shinnecock or wherever. He tends to find a groove, and it starts with kind of chipping away like he did today.
Chris, if I could real quick, I know both of you took Xander this week.
Yeah.
U.S. Open dropped it on camera, on broadcast graphic. Let me run through this really quick. So there's going to be scoring average, strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained putting, and scrambling. These were his ranks in 2024. 2nd, 10th, 12th, and 1st. These were his ranks in 2025. 141st.
Yeah, I know.
139, 158. That man is all name right now. No, he doesn't do it this week. Bold call from the both of you. 2 over, he's still right there. I saw those today and jaw dropped. So, I'm liking the other 3 that I'm seeing on that more than him.
Backdoor top 5.
Buying the dip, Casey. We're buying the dip. He's got to get back into 2024 range before too long here.
It's a good segue to the next group of guys we have on here, because look at these throwbacks. Legit throwbacks on this list of 4. All of them, Casey, are in this thing. Colin and Jordan are even par. Brooks is 2 under. Great finish for him. John Rahm is 1 under. Probably felt like he left at least 2 strokes out on the field the last couple of holes. These are to win. Jordan Spieth, man, can he win this thing? No. No.
No, yeah, no. I wanted to give him a little break. No, he couldn't, unfortunately. I almost want to feel that way about Colin as well, that I don't think he can, but the driving accuracy is so crucial. He's been good with that all year. He's good with that today. I mean, if he can stay in the fairway and give himself iron shots to find the green and just kind of keep it consistent as the week plugs on, I'd like to see what Colin does. Brooks makes me nervous after his press conference today. He's back giving 3-word answers. He looks annoyed with the questions, and that kind of looks like the Brooks that scares you during a major. So let's see what he does coming out tomorrow. And we saw what Rahm did at the PGA. It was a rough finish there where he was really going for the win, but we saw he's in some good form. So, like you said, these are some throwbacks, but they're showing some throwback form.
I mean, Rahm is the guy the odds makers are looking at now with Scheffler kind of wobbling. He's the new betting favorite, right, at plus 550. And this is something where we saw him come so close last month at the PGA Championship. He's talked about, the importance of getting back into the mix in majors in recent months. And I do think that he's got the game, having won this tournament 4 years ago at Torrey Pines, to handle a course like Oakmont. I will say, Morikawa, I feel like my stance on Colin Morikawa is very well established at this point. But this is a classic Colin Morikawa round. Plus 4.59 strokes gained approach, minus 2.62 strokes gained putting. He's going to hit it to 8 feet, and then he's going to miss. And at some point, that adds up to like a T12, but it doesn't add up to buying it 12-1. to win the tournament.
You expect a 75 in the next 2 rounds for Colin Morikawa. Spieth, I agree. It was just a fun conversation to talk about. Jon Rahm, the books know Jon Rahm's a sleeping giant. That's why his number is so low, because the guy's massive potential is just out there and you can't ignore it. Did anybody else feel like Brooks Koepka just was the guy that we saw 7 years ago who just hit the driver so nonchalantly down the middle of the fairway, and then when he missed the green, he got up and down for the most part, but the putter will might be the issue we have with backing him is my problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that his U.S. Open wins were 7 and 8 years ago, but you're right. This is the sort of mindset where he was able to take apart Aaron Hills and Shinnecock Hills in back-to-back years. I would still want to see it more. I have more faith in the longevity and the consistency of Jon Rahm, and I think that's kind of where the bettors' mindset is, and as well as the odds makers, where they got more money coming in on Jon Rahm being at 1 under than Brooks Koepka being there at 2 under, and I think that's probably going to be a trend that we're going to see over the rest of the tournament, that people are kind of expecting Jon Rahm to linger and really be a factor in this tournament through Sunday, whereas Brooks Koepka has a higher potential to potentially drift down starting tomorrow.
Before we go, any on-site impressions about the golf course today versus what you saw earlier in the week, what you expected, any tidbits for the people looking to make live bets here?
It is definitely firming up. We heard that from players. We felt that walking around on the course. The rough is super thick, but the fairways being firm is such a game changer. These guys are hitting good drives that are, the bank of the fairways are rolling them into the rough. It's going to make this place borderline impossible. I will say we're going to have to put our weatherman hats on the next couple of days because there's a storm coming through. The official weather forecast from the tournament used the phrase "confounding the models." They have no idea what this storm is going to do Saturday into Sunday. It seems likely there's going to be some precipitation. Is that going to be enough to really soften the course? Is it going to be enough to cause a delay in play? Still too early to tell, but man, if this course doesn't get a ton of rain or a ton of moisture for the rest of the way, it is going to be unbelievably spicy come Sunday.
Listen, best gig in the world is guessing weather. Don't even have to worry about being right all the time. But I would say similar to the stat Will dropped a couple times for a few of these guys we talked about. If you're liking somebody and you're thinking about putting some money on them, check out what their putting looks like after day one. That's going to be crucial as it goes forward. These greens are glass. They could slow down a bit. But even if they slow down a bit, the undulations, some of the setups, the pin locations, putting is going to be crucial as it comes down the stretch. So make sure to keep that in mind as you're placing your wagers.
Good stuff.
I will say, Chris, one more notable trend before we go. That was making the rounds in the media center here. Not quite as airtight as some of these trends we had at the Masters, but 24 out of the last 26 winners at the U.S. Open were T20 or better after the opening round. So that line is basically 1 over or better, would indicate that your winner shot at least a 71.
Awesome tidbits, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll be here.